Welcome to the SVG-TV News for Wednesday, July 15th. I'm Khalil Keita with the details. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves on radio today announced that the government has decided to extend the COVID-19 financial support to persons receiving unemployment benefits and vendors for another 2 months.
We are extending to October the program for unemployment benefit, and we are extending payments for vendors. The 600 persons who are getting the help through public assistance, the $200, where they will be grandfathered or grandmothered into the public address system next year from January the 1st in the new budget. They were already declared to be up to the end of December. But the others, which were to the end of July, going now to the end of October.
Further, he said a one-off payment for farmers will be made. The Prime Minister said it is, however, yet to be determined what sort of help or support will be afforded to sailors who returned home due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
I know several persons in the homes with seafarers struggling to pay utilities bill, struggling now that the children, we gotta go back to school. People who work on the cruise ship who are coming and telling you, well, they don't know when they're going back and they're looking for this and that job. It's true that they haven't put anything to the NIS, but the fact of the matter is this: there are a significant group of people and who have made a contribution, and have to find to see what we can do.
Opposition leader Dr. Godwin Friday said that the new travel protocols at airports in SVG are very poor and not a reliable system for preventing the spread of COVID-19. On Sunday, SVG recorded 6 new cases of COVID-19 of the 155 persons who came in on an American Airlines flight on Saturday, July 11th. Speaking on Boom 106.9 today, the opposition leader suggested a number of changes to the protocols, including a review of flights coming out of Miami, which is a COVID-19 hotspot.
The next issue has to be persons who have come. You can't simply say, well, we'll do the test now and go home and we'll give you the results later. Those persons, they feel that they're fine and they take unnecessary risks. They go and they help their family members. Their family members are not quarantined. They come out in the community, you know, and that's really a very porous and not a reliable system of preventing the spread of the disease, the virus. You know, especially if they don't have the test within the 72 hours, that those persons should be in a hotel or some facility until the test returns. You know, because it's simply not. It's not reliable to say go home and wait for the results, because these people are thinking, I'm fine, I can go and go and meet my friends and go and have, because it's a natural tendency to want to do that if you've been away for a long time.
Friday said more should be done to ensure persons comply with the COVID-19 protocols.
Cases here, and I wouldn't say that people are in a panic. I think really what happened is that people are naturally concerned about safety and requirements to observe the quarantine, and there have been complaints that they have not been, and this is where the authorities need to follow up, because the method that we have now is not working. It's simply not working, and for persons who are positive COVID-19 cases, they can create serious harm even if they themselves don't become ill. And this is what needs to be communicated to them and to everybody else, and the authorities in particular, to ensure that, when we have always said, yes, our returning nationals must be allowed to return home, and but we have to do what is necessary to protect their families, protect the communities.
Noting that everyone has a responsibility for their safety and security, the opposition leader urged all Vincentians here at home, those coming home, and visitors to follow the COVID-19 protocols and guidelines.
You know, people, they got more confidence when you say, okay, for 2 weeks there were no cases in St. Vincent. Yep. And you figure there are no reported cases and so on, that there is no, and in fact, all of the persons who had been tested positive had recovered. I mean, that was a good place to be. And so people got a bit more confident and thinking, well, we don't have it in St. Vincent now, all we have to do is prevent it from coming in. And then when it does come in, which, you know, if you open back up the flights and so on, you will expect that, yep, you know, 1 or 2 cases, acceptable rate may happen. But the question is not that just that, it's how do you deal with it?
Right.
And if you can isolate the person or persons, then you don't have to do much in the way of contact tracing, because when somebody goes out in the community, how do you trace all these people who they've been in contact with? And so the main thing has to be to secure it and make sure that the persons who come before they get their test results, you're not sure of their status, that they can't be allowed just to go about and tell them to do the right thing.
Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves says that his government is looking to make some amendments to the travel protocols. 2 such amendments, he said, will be for a PCR test to be done 5 days instead of 3 days prior to travel, and ticketing persons who may be found in breach of the protocols.
If it means that we have to strengthen the law to ensure compliance, that you feel it inside of your pocket. Because as the law is, the police can come and take you to the court, and the magistrate can do this. But maybe to save a lot of manpower, maybe we should introduce a ticketing system. And I've spoken to the Attorney General's office yesterday about this matter, and I'm going to canvass the cabinet today on it and to see how the AG's chambers fashion the details for efficacious implementation.
PM Gonsalves says that the COVID-19 task force has identified some challenges with persons not adhering to the protocols, including those who returned on the AA flight last Saturday. He said they will be putting measures in place to ensure compliance.
What has given us some difficulties in contact tracing, and we have to go underground. There are some people, out of the numbers, I think Simone told me, and I'm open to be corrected and think, I think the number she told me was 24 persons. Either didn't give any telephone number or gave a wrong telephone number. I could do that. So we have to ensure compliance. I don't want to turn any normal citizen of whichever country, and certainly not ours, into somebody who is dragged in by the police or anything like that. You know, I want us to have moral suasion, and that's the way a small country like this could address it.
Air Canada, which suspended flights to SVG on March 26th due to the COVID-19 pandemic, is expected to resume service this Thursday. That should be on Thursday, July 23rd. In the wake of the federal government's global travel advisory on COVID-19, Air Canada temporarily suspended flights to a number of destinations, including SVG. The airline said it will continue to monitor the situation closely in consultation with the Public Health Agency of Canada, Transport Canada, and Global Affairs, and will adjust its schedule going forward. Air Canada operates 2 flights into SVG on Thursdays and Sundays out of Pearson International Airport in Toronto. A meeting which was to be held on Monday, July 13th, to discuss a proposal by Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister Gaston Brown to save the cash-strapped regional airline LIAT did not take place as planned. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves had agreed to the meeting. However, speaking on radio today, he said that he is still willing to meet and listen to Brown's reorganization plan for LIAT, but awaits a response from the other 2 shareholder governments, Barbados and Dominica.
Trying to see if we can get this meeting. I spoke to Prime Minister Motley. You know, this meeting with the shareholders, the major shareholders, for Gaston to present his plan, what he has. You know, whether you're supporting his plan or not supporting his plan, he deserves to be heard in relation to his plan.
PM Gonzalez stated that he had written to Prime Minister Brown and also spoke with him on the telephone last Friday, where a number of misconceptions were cleared up.
Brown said that he would not say that I'm a notorious liar, but obviously intimating that I am. And I told him that. I said, but I mean, you can't do that. And you know you're wrong. And then he said that I am, I deceive him. I said, but I didn't deceive you. But there's water under the bridge. But the NDP went with an ad with that. Now are they going to put up another ad saying, alongside that, Gaston's speech, I love Ralph. He is my best friend in CARICOM. He will be my friend until I die. But you know, and the strange thing is that the NDP people, them, never interested in LIAT. Never interested in LIAT. And Sir James tried to kill LIAT with Carib Express.
One door closes, one door opens. Well, that's the mantra being used by young entrepreneur Romarl John as he and other vendors are facing the reality of not being able to ply their trade in the Arnesville area as of tomorrow. Last Thursday, the vendors were served with notice to vacate the premises opposite Massey's Stores Arnesville with no alternative. John has now turned online, seeking out new opportunities to maintain his livelihood.
Started to do my stuff online to make it more reachable for regional and international, which I realized since I started in the online business, persons in the diaspora started to reach out for me and order online so I could reach to the family who live in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and also is a way to push my business forward. Yes, this is the kind of stuff I will be providing online, fresh fruits and vegetables, and also ground stable food. Everything just sells because, as you know, persons are always looking for the fresh fruits and vegetables in the household.
And you think the online market you've set up is sort of like a good solution?
Well, yes, as I said, one door closed, one door open, so I use the online strategy to continue push my business until I get in a better position where I could be stable and set up.
John is encouraging his colleagues to use the online platform to reach existing and new customers to sell their produce.
Encourage my fellow vendors to do the same thing is a way to help move forward your business in the future. And in spite that you may having this challenging that the plan instructor want to remove you, I will encourage you as well to come online and try to advance your business as well. Well, a lot of my farmers and suppliers are very disappointed at this moment. They was very happy for me as a young person trying to keep positive and believing in myself and my business, and right now at this moment they're feeling very disappointed that planning is trying to remove our structure from here, knowing that this is my permanent setup where I do my business, and they're very concerned at this time and want to know what is the next move, what they have in store for us as vendors at Arnesville outside Massey.
Earlier this week, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonzalez said there is a possibility for the vendors to be relocated to one of the refurbished markets in Kingstown. John said he will seize all opportunities available.
Will do that. I will be willing to give myself that opportunity as well, so that I could be also in a stable area where persons can come in and also get the fresh fruits and vegetables from me. But at this point I feel very depressed because of the way how they approach me without giving me any other alternative to say where I'm going to be after removing my structure from outside Massey Store Arnesville.
Meanwhile, a concerned citizen highlighted another solution for the displaced vendors. He suggested the use of the garden area near the decommissioned E.T. Joshua Airport as a vending area, given the concern of space in the capital.
People, I think if we move in the direction of seeing what these people are trying to do, I think that is where the solution is going to come from, right? In Kingston, there's already some challenges with the vegetable market, right? We are not in Kingston. Here we are in Arnesville. This is supposed to be the new city, and this is an evolution. This is part of the whole making of a city. We can't go forward and deny vending. right? And so, in my mind, what we need to do is to create a market area. So for example, you have the old airport, at the top of the old airport, they could build some things there and make that a market area with proper walkways and so on, But the important thing is to do something and make sure there is a solution rather than try to move people, away and take food out of the mouth.
The opposition leader of the New Democratic Party says that he has responded to a letter of complaint that was written by the Supervisor of Elections, stating that NDP candidate for the Central Leeward constituency, Benjamin Exeter, caused a disturbance to the registration process. Friday says that he doesn't see the reason why Exeter is not allowed to observe the registration process in the constituency, noting that persons are observing the process in other constituencies, including his, and there has never been an issue.
And we've had the incident at Central Leeward where Ben Exeter was prevented from observing the registration there, and I've had a letter written to me by the Supervisor of Elections basically complaining about it. But I must say I've written back as well in response, but I didn't see anything in the letter that amounted to a reason as to why Mr. Exeter couldn't observe the process, because it should be transparent. I know here in that way. When my representative goes to observe the process, they're there, and there's no complaint. I mean, there's nothing extremely private or secretive about a registration process. The person comes, they present their documents, they're registered. What is the big deal about that? And the more transparent it is, the better it is. The more people see it, especially in Central Leeward, where we've had so many irregularities and illegalities during the election process.
Lieutenant Commander Dion Henry of the SVG Coast Guard Service became the third Vincentian national to graduate from the prestigious United States Naval War College, USNWC, located in Newport, Rhode Island. The USNWC, established in 1884, is the oldest institution of its kind and has graduated more than 50,000 students. Its first international officers program started in 1956, and presently there are over 4,500 international alumni from 137 countries worldwide. Lieutenant Commander Henry is a graduate of the USNWC Naval Staff College NSC class of 2020. NSC is a graduate-level professional development program designed for mid-career officers, preparing them for higher positions as of command and staff. It's an 11-month residential program divided into 3 trimesters and conducted primarily in seminars, but also includes field studies, capstone exercises, and comprehensive writing assignments. NSC class of 2020 was attended by 71 officers from 59 countries. Upon successful completion of the NSC, international students are awarded an NWC diploma, and a select few are awarded a Master's of Arts in Defense and Strategic Studies degree. Lieutenant Commander indicated that his time spent on the Naval Staff College course of 2020 was a humbling and rewarding experience. He further stated that the education obtained and the network built has provided him with opportunities for personal and professional development. On Wednesday, the 24th, Lieutenant Commander Henry, that should be June 24th, Lieutenant Commander Henry participated in the U.S. Naval War College's first virtual graduation ceremony for 427 students, inclusive of NFC students, who earned graduate diplomas in the areas of national security, defense, and strategic studies. Retired Commander David Robin of the SVG Coast Guard Service is the first Vincentian to graduate from the USNWC in June of 1994, and Superintendent of Police Benzil Samuel graduated from the USNWC in June of 2018. Senior nursing, that should be Elizabeth Medford, Senior Nursing Officer at the Mental Health Rehabilitation Center, graduated from the Bible University on June 17th with her Doctorate of Divinity with distinction of summa cum laude and a GPA of 4.0. The assistant pastor made history by being the first Vincentian minister to hold the Doctor of Divinity. She credits all glory and praise to God, along with the support of her parents, Overseer Christopher and the late First Lady Cecilia King, and her husband, her devoted husband, children, grandchildren, and sister Margaret Nichols. News.